Minister and Secretary of State. There are some questions from the journalists from you. First question is from Mohamed Veliu from Top Channel Television.
Faleminderit. I nderuar sekretar Blinken, në këtë vizitë në Shqipëri ju zgjodhët të takoheni vetëm me dy aktorë të politikës shqiptare, presidentin Begaj dhe kryeministrin Edi Rama. Përse nuk u takuat edhe me udhëheqjes të opozitës shqiptare? Dhe një pyetje e përbashkët. Nderuar zoti sekretariu sapo e përmendët.
Dear Mr. Secretary, you just mentioned that Kuchova base is going to be inaugurated 1 month later, whereas Prime Minister Edi Rama has offered Albania's readiness in continuous meetings in NATO and here to have a maritime base for NATO in Durrës port. Did you discuss about this matter in your bilateral meetings today, and is there any progress, if any? Thank you.
Well, in fact, I had an opportunity to meet with a number of different people and different groups besides the Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, members of the Cabinet, as I mentioned. I also met with some of the leading judges and prosecutors who are leading the judicial reform effort. I had a chance to meet with some, as I mentioned, remarkable young people who are engaged in our exchange programs. And when I come back for my rain check for dinner, I'll look forward to meeting an even broader cross-section of Albanian society and all of the different actors. But we, I think, got a lot into this day, something I take great satisfaction in. With regard to the airbase, first, I think it's important to underscore a couple of things. One, it's now 15 years since Albania has been a NATO ally. And the fact that you'll be inaugurating the airbase in Kuchova in just a few weeks is a wonderful way to highlight and underscore the commitment that Albania has made to NATO and that NATO, of course, has to Albania. This is a very strong example of the defense partnership that we enjoy. When it comes to the question of a maritime base, yes, this is something that we discussed and that I very much look forward to pursuing through NATO and through the processes that NATO has to determine what future assets would be valuable to the alliance. And we discussed this, and I know that NATO will work on it.
Next question is from Olivia Gazis from CBS.
Eddie, was there anything you wanted to add?
I didn't think that I was also involved, but as you know, when he's not here, what I say is like he's saying it, and now that he said it, what can I say more?
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, information has emerged about a serious national security threat from Russia, with lawmakers of both parties in the United States pressing for a response from the administration. How would you characterize first the urgency of the threat in question, and secondly, the United States' current preparedness to confront it? And secondly, on Gaza, what is the United States' level of confidence right now that negotiating parties can achieve an agreement that pauses hostilities before the beginning of Ramadan on March 10th? And Mr. Prime Minister, on Ukraine, the Secretary referenced Albania's significant contributions. The U.S. Congress has struggled for months now to pass a significant aid package for the Ukrainians, even as Kyiv is entering its 3rd year of war with Russia. Do you believe that this indicates American support for Ukraine is waning? And do you see it undermining broader Western efforts to push back against Moscow? And secondly, if I may, Mr. Prime Minister, on NATO, given recent statements by the Republican presidential frontrunner in the United States, do you have confidence that America will uphold its commitments to NATO's collective defense pact, no matter what members' defense spending levels are, and no matter what the outcome is in November? Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. So, on the first question, there's not much that I can say right now on the underlying issue. What I can say is this. This is not an active capability, but it is a potential one that we're taking very, very seriously. And I would expect that we'll have more to say soon, in fact, very soon. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we're also conferring with allies and partners on this issue. But here's the most important thing of all. The President's focus, President Biden's focus, is on the security of the United States and its people. And as we approach this and every other issue, that is first and foremost what's on his mind. That's where his focus is. On the question of hostages. So, as you know, we put forward a proposal to Hamas that the United States, Qatar, and Egypt, working with Israel, had put together, and then, as I said, put forward. We received a response from Hamas about a week ago, a response that we believe, while it has, as I said at the time, a number of clear non-starters in it, also offers the possibility of working toward an agreement. We're now in the process with our counterparts from Qatar, from Egypt, from Israel, in working on that and working very intensely on that with the goal of trying to find an agreement. And I believe that, that it is possible. Now, as I said, there are some very, very hard issues that have to be resolved, but we're committed to doing everything we can to move forward and to see if we can reach an agreement. We know what success looks like. We had it when we secured the first agreement that resulted in the release of 105 hostages, that resulted in a pause in military operations, the substantial expansion of humanitarian assistance going into people who so desperately needed it. If an agreement can be reached here, it offers the prospect of course, doing what is at the top of our list, which is getting the hostages home to their families, but also having an extended pause, which offers many other benefits as well. So we're very focused on it, and I believe it's possible.
You are tricking me into something that I am afraid might be dangerous, because answering to your question, I have to melt in American politics, which is not very advisable when you are a friend with the United States. But I want to take advantage from your presence to invite you, maybe through your TV, to share with the American public a map of Mongolia, following Mr. Putin's interview and his reasoning on the legitimacy of attacking Ukraine, that went back to 9th century. But if you dig a bit more, you will discover that Russia, once upon a time, was within the borders of Mongolia. So I know that Mongolians are peaceful people, but I don't think that looking back to the maps and using history like a reason to attack other people, to take others' lives, to destroy others' houses, to break others' future, is quite insane exercise. And being in that situation, Ukraine couldn't survive so far without the United States, first and foremost, and all the other allies and friends, who, by the way, are not eager to enter in war with Russia or with whomever, but have to protect Ukraine for protecting the world they believe in. Now, if you want me to have a take on the American Congress and Senate, I think I should not go there, because let's say that the American politics nowadays is not at its best. But one thing I can say, I had the privilege to be Prime Minister of Albania in NATO when the former president was there. And despite the rhetoric, despite the colorful way to confront adversaries, I don't see that NATO was weakened. On the contrary, what was decided before continued to be the case. Every country continued to put more money and to put more effort in increasing the NATO budget. So now, elections are elections. Trump is Trump. American politics is American politics. But I think the United States is something more than that. And what makes the United States one of a kind in our community of countries and of people all around the world is that the United States cannot and will never, in my view, shy away from what are the principles and the values to be protected, whatever it takes. And so I'm not afraid of anything but of stopping or wavering to continue and protect ourselves through protecting the right of Ukrainians to live in their country, to have their own house intact, to have their children grow there, and to have a common future with everyone else without being threatened to be wiped out from maps based on 9th, 13th, 15th, whatever century. Because if this Pandora box opens, then I can tell you we have a lot of maps in this region. But we have to see the future, and it's only the future that will unite us. So, no, I don't think that NATO will be weakened. I don't think the United States will shy away from their role and from their leadership. I think that when elections will be over, American business is American business.